Hey, welcome to Winners Wednesday, and I'm going to be introducing you to Becky and John. Becky and John, just 4 months ago, came to the Property Investors Crash Course. Prior to that, they were sat at home watching other Winners on a Wednesday interviews, starting from absolutely nothing, making £60,000 a year in property profit. You're going to find out exactly how they did that in this interview. Becky and John, financially free through property. Tell me your journey, how did it happen?
So we went to your crash course in June in Birmingham, and then joined your academy.
That was this year?
Yes.
That wasn't that long ago?
No.
Okay.
And then after doing the DFE and rent to rent that were quite close together for us,
Yes.
we came home and you started with deal sourcing, and I started looking for rent to rents, and we ended up with four rent to rent essays.
Okay.
So that started with, I managed to get one after about 150 viewings. I managed to get one between an estate agent and the landlord.
Yeah.
Because the rents for that area, they were very high. As we were doing that one up, I got a call back off the estate agent saying that 3 more landlords were interested.
I love how you just slip out though, after 150 viewings, like it's nothing, but 150 viewings. And one of those viewings, John fell down the stairs. Or that might have come later.
That
was not so long ago. That was after we set up our essays.
So you're doing a viewing in a property, fell over, and what happened?
Just fell down the stairs. Pretty much got out of there. Thought I'd sprained my ankle. Got back in the car. That viewing was actually when we'd finished our essays. So it was like then it was for deal sourcing.
But you broke your leg.
Broke my leg. Yeah. Broke just on where I joined my ankle.
Crazy, man.
It's painful.
You two though, I know a lot of people didn't think you were going to succeed, did they?
No.
You were like, no one thought you were. I mean, I thought you were going to succeed.
Did you? Yeah, you pushed that. You know, you spoke into existence. So, you know, when we've got someone that backs you, it's someone as successful as you that's like, you can do it, guys. I believe in you. That puts it in your mind, and you go and do it.
Yeah.
So, and then leaving the crash course, those events are so important for energy. They're the number one most important thing. Like, we found that when you go to a crash course, you're so pumped of energy. You can go out, you feel like you can do anything. You feel you can smash the property game. But you slowly get back into society and that energy goes.
Right.
It drains out of you. And then a month down the line, you've got another crash course. So we went to another crash course after that as well.
Just
to get the energy back up, yeah. And then you get back out there. That's the best thing about them.
I want to talk about the deals and the figures and the finances and side of things. But first, how did you even, what are your backgrounds and how did you come about coming to the crash course and even figuring out this world?
I was a care assistant that I started when I was 14 on minimum wage. And so I started doing my law degree to try and get a better job, and then found you on YouTube with John.
John found me on YouTube.
Well, yeah, John found you on YouTube. I agreed to watch it.
What happened? Tell us the story of when John told you about me because you thought he was going to break up.
Yeah, I was at a training course for work, and I got a text off John saying we need to talk. So I thought, oh, that's my relationship over. The girls at work were
What a negative thing to think, like, he wants to talk. Oh, well, we're done.
There was issues previous to that. The girls at work were like, don't go home then, come out with us for a drink. But I decided to go home. And I came home to John laid on the bed going, Becky, you need to watch this guy. And there was you and James Armstrong on the TV on Winners Wednesday.
Winners Wednesday. Who would have thought you would be on Winners Wednesday like 6 months later?
We actually watched that episode and we looked at each other and we was like, we're going to be on Winners on Wednesday.
You just knew it.
Yeah. That was our goal then. So we came to the crash course, still with that goal, I suppose, you know. So came out the crash course, we're going to smash this now.
Yeah. So, okay. So you got the training, you went on all of the different courses as part of the Academy bundle, and you went like crazy, like mad people viewing loads and loads of properties.
Yeah.
How did you have the time, energy, money and resources to even do that?
I quit my job before the DFE and rent to rent because they wouldn't give me the time off for it.
Oh my goodness. So you like couldn't be more all out?
I think they sacked you, didn't they?
Yeah, they pretty much said you either, if you decide to take the time off, you can hand in your notice now. So I was like, okay, do you want it written or just in verbal?
Oh my goodness. So you signed up for the advanced training on the Academy bundle and they were like, you're not allowed to do that?
Yeah. So, course that I've paid for, minimum wage job. Right. What are you going to go for?
Yeah. Right, so you quit. When did you quit your job?
I quit my job after signing up for the Academy.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Launchpad rent-to-rent event. And after that we looked at each other and we just knew what we needed to do.
Yeah.
And you just never went back to work?
Yeah, but I think partly like we're so buzzing with energy when we left rent to rent that if I went back to my normal job, my energy would have been drained. We probably would have never gone down the property path. You've got to, I don't want to tell people to quit their jobs, but if you're going to do it, you've got to do it.
The thing is, what you did, I wouldn't have even been able to advise you to do because you quit your job. I know you paid for the training on credit cards.
Yeah.
And that's not a secret, right?
No, we're quite open about that.
Right. So you had no money. You were working minimum wage job. Also, when you came to the crash course, I know you had both had a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Anxiety. So we both have Asperger's, which is on the autistic spectrum. So that just brings like massive social anxiety, social awkwardness. You're quite an introvert. I'm quite an introvert. Becky's a bit more outgoing.
I've always been taught fake it till you make it. You can cry when you get home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So like going to an event with 1,000 people there, and they're all strangers as well, was just an absolute nightmare. But you've really got to just push yourself out your comfort zone. Like you've got to do it. Lots of things you say on stage, and you just trigger in your mind. You're like, it's all about mindset and pushing yourself out your comfort zone. You know, it really is that. You can sit at home and be comfortable, basically, can't you? And you're not ever going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You're going to stay in your job and you're going to earn that crappy bit of money and you're content. But you're never going to succeed.
What you did was such a massive risk, and I know it's paid off in dividends, but quitting your jobs with anxiety, going into credit card debt, and then being like, right, now we're going to do property. If that didn't work, it could have ended terribly wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, we thought that though. What was it? I think it's something that you said in the past on stage, perhaps. It's like, it takes a lot of energy to be poor, and it takes a lot of energy to be rich. What are you going to put your energy into?
Yeah.
So we always had the view that, well, if we don't make it, we're only back where we started.
So true.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
it's like best case, worst case.
Yeah.
And then what are the likely cases of those things happening?
Yeah.
And you knew that if you do all the training and you go to town on working hard and you've got the support around the people around you, you're going to succeed. So massive, massive respect. And it's just so good to have you here in my home and being able to follow your journey. So talk to me about the deals. So you've 4 rent-to-rent deals. How did you secure them? Where are they? Talk to me about
So they're all in Blackpool. 2 of which are quite close to like the Pleasure Beach and the Sandcastle, very touristy, and 2 of them are quite close to 2 hospitals.
Okay.
So they tend to do quite well. They tend to go for £100+ a night.
And are these properties, just to be super clear, you've got the keys,
Yeah.
they're live,
Yeah.
the bookings are coming in,
Yeah.
you've booked out the whole of like October and things are bookings are really good.
Yeah, I have got to do a shout out to Pastor Property.
Yes.
Parminder, if you watch him, what a top guy.
Awesome.
He's really pushed us. Our first essay, we interior designed it to a level, taking some pictures, and he was really honest. He basically said, like, these are rubbish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said, you need to like sort this out. So that night we got some paint and we sorted it. We got his interior designer in for one apartment. And then from there on we learned ourselves.
Yeah.
And
You know what? Power team is so important. Having the right agents, having the right furnishing companies, the designers, channel managers, and just generally support network.
Yeah.
I think people think that money, in order to be successful in property, money is the most important thing, and then followed by knowledge and then maybe network. Actually, it's the opposite. I think who you know and who knows you, and then what you know, and suddenly the money isn't so important.
No. It's all about pleasing the client at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Talk to me more about these deals. How did who did the talking? How did you secure them?
Me. So they've never actually met you, have they?
No, I mean, I was focused on deal sourcing at the time. So Becky, I was like, you do the rent to rents, and she actually got the keys and everything, and I've helped get them together. We've furnished them, painted them, decorated them, done all the DIY.
How did you find these 4 houses, all these 4?
Oh, I just went. So Gumtree, I was trying to go direct to vendor because I thought that we might have issues with estate agents. So we tried where we actually live, Lytham St Anne's, because they do really, really well for Airbnbs. But we're just getting turned down and turned down and turned down. So I thought, right, try a different area. Let's go to Blackpool. Direct to vendor, turned down and turned down and turned down. Ran out of direct to vendor.
So you were just ringing landlords direct off Gumtree?
Yeah.
And what were you saying?
So I was kind of explaining what we did, but kind of made out like we'd already done it. Not said that I did, but
You just spoke with confidence?
Yeah.
This is what we do?
And then they were all very interested to meet me, and then when they actually met me and I explained it in person, they weren't interested.
So they weren't interested in the idea of you taking on their property on a corporate let.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know what rent to rent or rent to service accommodation is, but what you've been doing is renting an apartment and then doing that under a management agreement, and then the property, then listing it on Booking.com, Airbnb, different sites with a channel management company, doing it professionally, properly, legally, with the right contracts and the right, head leases and all that mortgage. And then what you do is you pay the landlord a monthly fee, and then anything on top you keep as profit.
Yes.
Okay, so they weren't interested. So then what happened?
So then I thought, well, I'll try estate agents, even if it's just in practicing what I'm doing, even if it doesn't work. And about the fifth estate agent in, I explained it to them. They knew what it was. So they said, come to the viewing. I came to the viewing, then came back to their office and discussed it with the manager of the estate agents, who then rang the landlord. So it was kind of like a three-way conversation. And we got the first one.
Just before that agent, was any part of you thinking, this is never going to work?
I don't think so. I think I'd kind of got beaten down with Blackpool, and I think we were getting to a point of trying other area. But it did work, and I didn't have doubts that it wouldn't work.
Why did you not have doubts?
Because I've seen other people do it.
Yes.
And I've heard other people that I've met in real life and are real people that have done it.
Those people that have done it have usually also had no's to begin with. Yeah. So it's not like, and I think everyone is Wednesday, they all have the same things in common. They've all worked really hard. They've all gone on training and they've got the right training, got people around them, and they've all been told no at some point and kept going.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be the pattern.
So and then whilst we were doing up our first one, because where these apartments are, they're very expensive for the area, and they just weren't renting out because people in that area can't afford it,
right?
Or wouldn't afford it. So 3 landlords had heard what was going on by the estate agents. And the estate agents got back in contact with us with 3 more properties.
So as soon as you got that one, suddenly 3 came.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? A good relationship is always better than a good deal.
Yeah.
Because once you've got, and that happens with so many people like Leah and Cheryl, Leslie Tao, a lot of these people that come on this Wednesday, no, and then suddenly, yes, and then it's like, yes, floodgates open. Yeah. I know you've had a really good month of bookings and stuff, and it's what occupancy have you had over the last
70%?
Yeah, just over 70%.
What are you expected over the year, based on all the due diligence, to make of those 4 properties?
Over the full year, on average, it's about 80%, with the season being March to November, and every other Airbnb pretty much being booked out 100% of the time.
Wow. Okay, so what have you predicted with all the due diligence that you've done and everything, that your annual profit is going to be from the properties?
£60,000.
£60,000.
Yeah.
That's
profit.
insane.
Yeah.
Profit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just incredible.
It's great.
Got
a smile on my face.
Yeah. Incredible. And even if it's not, even if it's 40,000.
Yeah. It's still amazing.
It's something to build on, isn't it?
What were you making in your job?
I was earning £1,000 a month if I was lucky.
So it's a whole nother world. Do you ever pinch yourself and just think this can't be real?
I think Becky
I'm not quite there yet. Like, I go out to work and I do it, but I don't really think about it.
I'm quite an intricate guy. I'm very focused on what I'm doing, so I kind of not pinching myself. No, I'm more worried about my next stage. My next move.
What do you think of all those people? Like, what do they say now? All those people that were saying it won't work, don't do the training. You're crazy. It's a pipe dream.
You've got to push yourself out. You've got to get yourself out there. Yeah, it is a pipe dream if you don't get off your ass and do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy if you don't go to work.
Yeah.
You've got to try. What have you got to lose? Yeah. What have you got to lose? If you're currently in a minimum wage job, like, get a credit card, guys, and get an SA, basically. Do you know what I mean?
I never advised you go and get a credit card and take out debt, because that would have been because the thing is, there's good debt and there's bad debt. Yeah. Bad debt is when you get money for something that's not going to give you a return. Good debt is when you borrow money to do something that's going to give you a good return, and then it's for like free money. But it's only going to give you a good turn if you implement and if you do it right. So if you go and get a really bad serviced accommodation property and you get debt, then suddenly it's bad debt.
Yeah, you need to get training on it, definitely.
We've not been stupid. We've got a couple of credit cards with 0 interest for 2 years, and we was confident once we get the essays that we would easily pay that off in 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
and also you've You've been selling deals as well?
Yeah, so we've got our own property sourcing company called Kingdom Property Sourcing.
Yeah.
We've got a website called kingdompropertysourcing.com.
Yeah.
We've been trading now for about 6 months. Most of our time has been spent on the RSAs. So realistically, we've been sourcing now for about 14 days, like full-time sourcing for 14 days.
Yeah. So you've been focused on it. How many deals have you sold in the last 14 days, if any?
4 deals.
You've sold 4 deals in the last 14 days.
Yeah.
You've not been charging big fees.
No, we've been letting them go out for quite cheap. They've all been 25% above ROI. We're just getting the money in basically.
So how much have you made in profit from selling those 4 deals?
4.5 grand.
4.5. So you've been doing just over £1,000 a deal,
Yeah.
which again you're making £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And suddenly you package and pass on a deal and make £1,000. It's really not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely a better job.
Yeah, we work for ourselves. You know, we've got an office at home, which is great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My walk-in wardrobe has been turned into an office.
What has been the thing that differentiates you guys between other people that don't make it work? What's so special about you guys?
Taking action, definitely. It's just getting up every morning and making yourself do it. And I think we've been quite lucky that we have each other, because when John's having a bad day, I can kick him out of bed, and when I'm having a bad day, he can kick me out of bed and make each other go to work.
It's mostly me kicking Becky out of bed, to be honest.
Tell me about the bad days.
Lack of motivation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think an element of fear sinks in there, but you've got to stick to a positive mindset. You've got to think yourself out of that fear. As Grant Cardone says, push into it. So that's what we do. You know, we use fear now as a construct to make us do better.
How do you do that?
Just mindset. You know, like you'll feel that fear.
And do it
most
anyway.
people walk away at that point, but we just push into it. Like you've got to focus ahead. So you focus forward and see the vision and see the end
outcome.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And I love what you said, John, earlier when you said, what's the very worst case? Because when you're making a decision, if the worst case is you're going to go bankrupt and it's gonna absolutely ruin you forever, if that's the worst case, then maybe you shouldn't do the thing. Or if the worst case is, well, if I do that, it's going to be really annoying, I'm going to lose a few £1,000s, and I'm going to have learned a big lesson from it. That's the worst case, and then I'm back to square one.
Yeah.
But the best case is I'm making £60,000 a year in profit, and then I'll have a lot of time to do deal sourcing and this, and then it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, well, we did get into debt, but with our SAs, that's paying off our debt, and now we've got a deal sourcing. We're fully focused on deal sourcing. That's pretty much a full-time job. That's our income.
Most people think that to be successful, you need to be debt-free. But I don't agree. I think I mean, if you look at the richest people in the world, most of them, if not all of them, have debt.
Yeah.
I think the majority of adults in the country have debt, either mortgage, student loan, or just credit cards. That everyone has debt. You've got to choose what your debt's for.
Yes. If your debt's for paying off bills, then that's not great, because then it's a downward spiral. Yeah. If you're running your business off of using good debt, I mean, even when I met with James Caan a couple of weeks ago, I said, what would you do if you were starting out all over again from scratch with nothing? And he was like, I'd borrow money. Yeah. Why? Because he's got the knowledge to know what to do with the money. Therefore, if you borrow 10 grand or 100 grand and you put it to town and make it work, and then the money that you're making covers the interest and more, then it's just leverage.
As long as you manage it, don't go into it stupidly, get into debt. If you manage it, you've got nothing to worry about. Yeah.
What has been the hardest thing for you, John, so far, like on the property side of things, the most frustrating?
The most hardest thing for me, because I've got Asperger's, is getting out there. You know, like, I'm socially awkward, massively socially awkward, and social anxiety. So going to meet a stranger, and sometimes I stumble on my words and so on. But I found through pushing myself out there that I don't really stumble so much now. Yeah. And I actually love meeting new people now. I love bringing them up, and I love hearing what they've got to say and talk about their lives and what they're doing and their property journey as well. Yeah. And that's what I really like about this.
What were you doing before? What was your job?
I've had a number of jobs in my lifetime. I'm a multi-skilled guy, but mainly building, manual labour. Not because I'm stupid, I've been to university and so on, but I enjoy it. I enjoy using my hands. Yeah. But there's no money in it. You're never going to get rich doing anything like that. But
So what changed then? Why are you now able to talk to people, sell deals, run a business, have a website? Like, how did that happen?
confidence and mindset and just having a vision.
Yeah.
You know, like straight away I was like, I'm going to be a deal sourcer. That's
Yeah.
what I want to be. So you set up your company, don't you? Yeah, I think it's just taking step by step. Chipping away is one of my phrases of life. Like, you know, if you do struggle, keep chipping away, because eventually those little steps will get you there.
Yeah. And the people that you were watching on Winners Wednesday are now friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, on our first crash course, we made friends with a girl there that actually stayed at our house between the DFE and the rent.
What was her
to
name?
rent.
Oh, June Nibiru.
Okay.
So yeah, and she's on the academy with us, and Mo, what's Mo's last name?
I know Mo Ulla.
Yeah.
And I know June.
We're quite close with him, so he's come round to ours a few times. He's been to a few viewings with us in Blackpool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Talk to me about the training then that you've received and the academy in general and what that's been like.
I think it definitely pushed us out of comfort zones.
Massively pushed out of comfort zones, yeah.
We have been to other training courses since then as well.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And I've not found them as energetic. And I found around lunchtime I start being like, can we go home?
If no one's been to a crash course, yeah, they're pretty much coming from a sleepy local town where they live. Yeah, even London can be sleepy, can't it? You go to the crash course event, it's very high energy, isn't it? Very high energy. And that pumps you with energy and positive energy. And you do literally leave out there like, we can do this, yeah, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And that motivates you to get on the phone. So if we hadn't gone to a crash course, ringing a state up on the phone and saying, oh, hey, can we rent some property stuff? You just wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
You've got to have some knowledge about it and you've got to have that high energy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally agree.
And I mean, straight off the crash course, we were ringing up for viewings, not really knowing we knew kind of what we were doing, but not enough to go ahead with it. But we thought, well, we've signed up to the academy, let's get some practice in.
Yeah.
Joe, you started setting up a company as well, didn't you, straight away?
Yeah, straight away. To be honest, the DFE was very important.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, you ring up estate agents and talking about something you don't really know what you're talking about. And straight away you're building a rapport. In fact, at the DFE, I rang an estate agent in Lancaster, and I built a great rapport with her that day, and I still talk to her today.
Yeah.
And she still sends me properties today.
Love
So,
that.
and I think it's important that you make them do it at the DFE, because I think if they go home,
They're not going to do it.
No.
You've got
That's
to
why we do it there and then.
yeah, you've made them cross the line, then it's easier when they get
Because
home.
sometimes people say, I just want to learn. I'll do it when I get home. No, you won't.
No, you won't,
This
no.
is a
the biggest
training.
lie, yeah.
It's like a training program, practice ground, not theoretical. This is same at the Rent to Rent Revolution.
Yeah.
Get your patch, ring up agents. It's all.
Yeah.
There's no time like the present. Being friends with people like Ricky and just the whole being in that world. What's it like compared to say 6 months ago before you even knew any of this existed?
They're a lot more positive than the people we were friends with, the majority of them.
Yeah, you've got to have a positive mindset. You've got to be around positive people. In fact, I've noted since I started your crash course, my Facebook's changed. I'm not really into social media so much, but it's an unnecessary evil for the business. Yeah, and my Facebook is just full of the usual negative local town stuff, your old friends and that. And now I've got like over 2,000 friends, from 300 to 2,000 friends in 4 months. And they're all property guys. And now my Facebook is just full on positivity. I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling a bit down, a nice positive meme will come up or something like that, and it makes you jump out of bed.
I saw your post the other day that made me get out of bed.
Yeah, what was that?
It was about you've got extra 48 hours in the weekend, and I was laid in bed hungover on a Saturday. And I did comment, well, I can't stay in bed after reading that, can I?
Yeah.
And I got out of bed.
Yeah, it's like it's the weekend. Now's the time to go to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to push yourself out there. Like, I can't emphasise it enough.
Yeah.
If you don't push yourself out there, you're never ever going to get anywhere in your life. You've got to push yourself out your comfort zone.
Why do you think some people don't make it? Even though they'll come on the training and they'll be like, oh, it just didn't work.
I think fear
Yeah.
and just bone idleness, bone laziness.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
really do think
lack
it's
of
that.
action.
Lack of action, yeah. Like, you have all these ideas sticking around in your head,
Yeah.
but if you don't take action, they're just ideas.
Because you know, working with me and being on my training programs, my heart is to see people succeed. But ultimately, it's a two-way thing. I'll make one move and give tools and ideas and training and all that kind of stuff. Go through the figures, but then it's down to the student, right, to then meet me in the middle, and then we can keep going that way.
I think that's very important that you say it's all about the tools, because I think a lot of people might come to not particularly your crash course, but training events, and take on the knowledge and think it's easy, maybe get the hands held and that, but
Yeah.
you've got to listen to what you're being told and what you're being taught and go out there and take action.
Yeah, because if it was like a magic wand, that's fantasy.
Yeah.
And if I was going to come to the viewings with you and negotiate for you, then I may as well just do it myself.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm saying, here's what I've done, here's how you can do it. But I'm really impressed with what you've done. I think it's incredible. What's next then? What's the kind of...
BRRs, I
Yeah,
think, to buy.
Okay, so when you say BRRs, you're talking about...
Buy, refurbish, refinance and rent.
Right, so buy a house, add value to it, pull the money out, rent it out and go on again. I guess that's more wealth building rather than cash flow?
I mean, it's both really. If you're renting it out after, you'd obviously make sure it had a good rental income from it.
Of course.
But it is more about the pulling the money out.
So you're not going to slow down now you're financially free?
No.
No.
I'm going to be a millionaire before 25.
Why do you want to be a millionaire? What's the strongest reason why?
Financial freedom.
But you've got financial freedom now.
Yeah, we have got
Financial freedom to do what we want.
Okay,
not
tell
to
me
live
the difference.
how we were.
Tell me the difference.
So we're financially free. So our serviced accommodations cover the money that we were earning beforehand, plus any other bills that we've incurred since starting property.
Right, so in other words, your normal lifestyle is covered by your property income,
Yeah.
meaning that if you wanted to, you could not work.
Yeah.
But then ultimately financially free is what?
Is to be able to go out and do what you want, when you want, without having to worry about money.
Right, so that's when your passive income or property income covers your dream lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's the next goal.
Yes. So we want to go travelling, don't we?
Yeah, we'll travel the world for a year.
Nice.
Learn some cultures. I think we want to move from the northwest as well. It's a great area for cheap property, but I think we just want to move somewhere more in the countryside.
Yeah. Where would you be buying the BRR deals?
In the northwest.
That's a
so
good
they
investment.
are the best
Yeah.
places to be.
And you guys know it now, like the back of your
Yeah,
hand.
we know the northwest very well.
Because you've been brought up there,
Yeah.
you know the area. Now you've done all the property training. So from an investment point of view,
Yeah.
you can kill it in there. However, you've just got all these properties and you're getting cash flow coming in, financially free. You went into debt to do it. How are you going to finance the BRR deals to begin with?
So we're going to hope to do joint ventures
Yeah.
and source to raise finance to do it.
Love that. Love that. So you're going to package and sell deals, you're going to joint venture with people, and then just totally take over the Northwest. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that was considering going on the crash course or the
Do it.
academy?
Do it. Don't think about it.
Even
Go
if
do
not the academy, at least do the crash course. It's free.
Yeah.
And I mean, we went with the kind of thing as we'll either learn something or we'll have a nice weekend away.
Yeah.
You know, you've not got anything to lose there.
Yeah.
So,
What do
and
you mean,
we
John?
definitely did learn something.
Crash course, yeah, don't think about it, just take action.
Yeah.
Get off your ass. If you want to change your life, get out there and do it.
Because you guys, you quit your job off the back of the crash course.
Yeah.
Was it the Rent to Rent Revolution when you quit your job?
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
that program like?
It's excellent. Yeah, it's excellent. In fact, straight after that, we got 4 SA, so
Yeah.
we learned a lot from that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I've really enjoyed chatting with you guys. Thank you for doing all you're doing. I hope to see you back at the crash courses.
We will be.
I might even have to pull you on stage to get you to share your story and cheering you on all the way.
Thank
Good
you very
job.
much.
Thank
Elizabeth Cousins, if you're watching this, come to the Property Investors Crash Course on me, on the house, and anyone else watching this video can also come. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. If you want to check out James Armstrong interview, he was the person that got these guys to the crash course and now they're financially free. You can check out his video right here. If you want to book onto the crash course, you can do it in the link in the description, or you can just click right here. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss an interview, and you can subscribe over here. I'm going to keep waiting until you subscribe.